Welcome back to another episode of the Hunt, Fish, Live podcast. In this episode, I'm diving into a weekend full of deer hunting that had it all, except the ending that I had hoped for. I got a late start, I took a long walk, and was right on the edge of success until the rain came and shut it all down. So stick around as I break down the highs, the lows, and everything in between for a weekend of hunting that Mother Nature had other plans for. Let's get into it. This hunting weekend had a lot of potential and a lot of excitement going into it. Through the week, I had planned on, or actually not through the week, for a month or so, I had planned on going down to Indiana with Jeff and Steve to hunt the weekend. Since Jeff is now old and semi-retired, he's not old, but he and Steve headed down Wednesday night to hunt Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. I was going to head down Friday morning and hunt Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday morning. Beginning of the last week, though, it was starting to forecast rain. And it was supposed to rain a ton. They were calling for over 2 inches of rain. And it was supposed to start Saturday at noonish and get done at some point Sunday late afternoon. So I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, flipped a coin a couple times, thought about it some more, kept watch on the weather, and Friday morning I decided that I was not going to go to Indiana. It was not worth my time to only get 2 hunts in when they had been there for a day and a half already. So I stayed home, brought my daughter to daycare, and hit the woods. I went to one of my go-to deer spot on some state land close to home, and got set up probably about 9 o'clock after I had to drive all the way to another town, 20-minute drive there, 20-minute drive back, grab my stuff, and head out to the property, the area that I was hunting, not property. So I got there about 8:45, got set up about 9. I walked back through Hoe Alley, if you know, you know, and I ended up on the edge of the thick bedding area and on the ridge between the thick bedding area and an oak flat, which was dropping acorns like crazy. So I figured there would be deer moving in between. On the walkout, I found a couple scrapes that were fresh and a rub that was really fresh. So I felt like I had the right idea. I hunted till about 11:30, 12 o'clock, and hit the road and came home. Didn't see any deer, saw some squirrels, learned a lot, of course, and made a plan for the afternoon. Throughout the day on Friday, warmed up a lot, and it was probably high 60s. It wasn't 70, but it was in the high 60s. I planned on leaving my house around 3 o'clock so I could be there and be in the woods by 3:30. And I ended up leaving at 3:30. Got to the woods, got to the spot about a little before 4, and there was already somebody there. I was late. I was later than I wanted to be, and I wanted to hunt that spot because on the way back, I found a couple scrapes in an area that I have hunted, and I have a tree that I like to hunt in. So I figured it was gonna be a great evening. I didn't know how much time I was gonna get on Saturday morning because rain was coming, but I wanted to get in the spot to hunt Friday night so I could get a good long sit in there. but but somebody was there already, so I had a backup plan, and I headed there. It was about, I don't know, 10-minute drive or so over there, and I had somebody behind me on the road. I quick turned in the parking spot. They wanted to go there too, but I got there literally a half a second before they did. Got the dirty look, and they drove by. So, got ready, got my stuff on, grabbed my saddle, got my sticks, grabbed everything. Took off walking. I was going to hunt this probably 4 or 5 acre field that I thought was farmed on state land, and turns out when I got back there, it was not. So I was like, well, I can't get in a tree along this field. It's too thick. The field's too thick. This is gonna be stupid. So I went to an area that we sit in for turkey hunting that's pretty wide open, and I felt like it was gonna be a good spot for the evening on Friday. Well, I get out there, and it's way too thick. So I didn't know what to do. I just started heading back towards the road and towards the truck, looking for sign, looking for a spot to get in. I found one tree that I could get in, but it was out in the open, and I would have been busted. And so I made it out to the main trail, and I was sweating. I'm like, you know what? This is stupid. I'm gonna go back to the truck, drive around, look for another spot to hunt, and turn on the air conditioning because I was sweaty. Did that, headed out, went looking for another spot. Every spot that I went to, there's somebody at. So I knew that the guy that was parking, or that parked in the spot in the area that I like to hunt, was probably most likely on that side of the road. And I knew there's no parking spot on the other side of the road, so I knew that there wasn't going to be anybody over there. So I found a flat spot on the side of the road and parked there, got ready, headed into the woods. By this time it was like 5:30. I had stopped sweating, so that was good. And got into a tree, got set up, and was comfortable. So I hunted till dark, a little before dark. Didn't want to stay too dark just because I didn't want to bust any deer getting out, and I didn't want to. I like to get down in my saddle when it's kind of light out still. So that's what I did. Didn't see any deer, and made a plan for the next day, for Saturday morning. Went home, had something to eat, went to bed. Got up early Saturday and headed out. No, there weren't many people hunting, so I felt like I was going to get my spot. And I did. I got the spot that I was looking for, and went in, got set up in the tree that I wanted to be in, good to go. And I figured I had till about noon before the rain came. So, sitting there, hanging out, looking, listening, watching squirrels, and all of a sudden, I hear thunder. It's 8:30 in the morning, and I was like, this isn't supposed to be starting for another few hours. I should have time. So I opened up the radar. Sure enough, opened up radar on my phone. Sure enough, bad news. Rain starting in a half hour. Like, son of a bitch. So I sat there trying to decide what I was going to do. If I should stay, if I should go. I decided to stay. I sat in the rain for about 25 minutes, got completely soaked, and called it quits. It rained from then on until Sunday here. So I knew I made the right decision. I was just irritated that I didn't get to hunt as long as I had hoped. I felt like it was going to be a good sit. I felt like it was going to happen. There had turned, since last year, there's a new trail that runs through that spot, and it goes right under the tree that I like to be in, and it was heavily used. It looked like it was good. It's a good spot. It's close to the road too, but I don't like, when I hunt state land, public land, I don't like to go way far back. I don't think in my mind, you don't have to go that far. All you have to do is find the sign. So I just go in until I find some good sign and hunt it. It has worked out. I haven't killed anything there yet, but I've seen deer, seen does, I've seen bucks. I have had trail camera pictures of tons of deer. This year, though, and that's on state land around home, I'm not running cameras, going in blind for everything, hunting old school like I did back when I started hunting many, many years ago. 28 years ago? Dang, that's crazy. That's a long time. But anyways, yeah, 30 years ago when I started hunting. Anyway, no trail cameras, just going off sign scouting and knowledge that I have of the area. So hopefully I can get out soon. I'm not sure when the next time I'll be out there, but next weekend I have a trip down to Indiana. So we'll see what happens. Well, that being said, it is late mid-October. We're about 10 days away from November, and trail cameras are starting to heat up down in Indiana. Bucks are starting to move. The corn's still up, so that's going to help us. We talked to the farmer last week, and he said they're cutting in, this past Friday, he said they're cutting in 2 weeks. So probably the next time that I go down, they'll be cutting Halloween weekend, I think, is when they're going to be cutting. So hopefully the bucks stay around. But we're seeing more and more big bucks. The bucks are starting to move, starting to establish their areas, and starting to come out in the daylight, which is always a plus. I think my strategy is just going to be watching trail cameras for next time I go down. I'm going to hunt in the areas that we've been getting pictures. I have a couple ideas of sits, depending on wind. Wind's a big factor down there. If you get the wrong wind, you're totally screwed, and you might as well not even go out. But you kind of got to, just because you traveled all that way, and you went down there to hunt, not sleep in, get drunk, eat food, whatever. You went down there to hunt. So that's going to be the plan. I've got, I think, 3 weekends in a row down there for hunting planned, but we'll see. Hopefully I don't need that many. I have a doe license and a buck license for archery for Indiana, so if nothing else, I can shoot a doe with a gun and be good to go. Late October is a great time to be in the woods. The bucks are getting more active as the rut approaches, and cooler temps often mean daytime movement, like I've been seeing on trail cameras. Cooler temperatures after a front can trigger major deer movement, especially in the evening. So if a cold front hits, you want to be in the stand. Bucks often move early to feed and scent check for early does that are in heat. So try to focus on food sources near bedding areas after the cold front comes through. Another thing you can do is target the new scrapes and rub lines. Late October is the peak scraping activity time period, and bucks are laying down sign and checking scrapes a lot more than they have been, especially during last light. So set up downwind of the active scrapes with good cover and access. Mock scrapes can also be used. Um, a lot of people have been using the vine method or rope scrapes these days. They've become more popular. You just hang a rope or a vine from a branch, put a little scent on it, and they'll start using that like a licking branch. Another thing you can do is, as bucks begin to cruise for early does, but don't want to waste all their energy yet, they'll often stage or scent check bedding areas from downwind. So a good tip for that is to set up along the trails of terrain or terrain funnels that lead to these bedding areas, especially in the morning. So find bedding, find where they're coming from, and set up, and you will be golden. Late October is also, transitioning period. As you all know, food pattern shift, buck movement becomes less predictable. If you're not seeing deer, don't be afraid to move. Get mobile and find some sign. You'll find some deer. Let me know what kind of terrain or region you guys are hunting in, and we'll see if they compare. I'm more of hardwoods and field edges. Are you more swamps and open fields? Let me know in the comments. Well, that's it for this episode of the Hunt, Fish, Live podcast. This weekend's hunt might have started late, took me on a long walk, and ended up with me getting soaking wet. But just like every time in the woods, there's always something to learn. Even when the hunt doesn't go as planned, it always sharpens the strategy for the next time. So to recap, the 5 tips for late October deer hunting: watch for cold fronts, focus on scrapes and rub lines, hunt near doe bedding areas, don't skip the middays, and stay mobile. Fresh sign is your best friend. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And if you got out this weekend too, I hope your hunt ended drier than mine did. So be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, share the show with your friends, and until next time, hunt hard, fish often, and live wild. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you later.